So let's talk about career and purpose. Do you think they are the same or different things?
Yeah, I think they can be the same sometimes because career and purpose might align sometimes, but I think they are different at the end of the day.
Can you expatiate?
Because careers, there are people that are doctors, and though doctor work is helping people, maybe the person's purpose might be something else, like being a kingdom financier, for example, or something, maybe your career could sometimes even fund fund your purpose, but sometimes it doesn't mean that that's your purpose, that being a doctor is your life's purpose. There might be something else outside of that, maybe working alongside the needy or homeless people might be your calling. And whereas being at a doctor, you have to be at a hospital all the time.
Okay. So now for many people, do you think that their careers have to align?
I think there are some
Excuse
people
me.
that it does. I think it's good if it aligns, because then you are living every moment in purpose. I think that's most important, that we're living every moment in purpose. So even when we're doing our careers, I think we should try to figure out if there is a way we can merge the two. Like, even though I'm working, because we're spending 8 hours at work,
Okay.
if I could spend that time doing something that is purposeful to the Lord or for the Lord, the reason why I'm even on this earth to begin with, I think that's more important than that's important. So I think that we should maybe possibly find a way. There are some careers that can align, like how um what's her name? I don't remember her name right now, but I know she works in policies with different countries in Africa, and with even with that, she's advocating for people. She's advocating for Christians. She's advocating through her career. She's also finding a way of merging, of infusing our purpose into it, and speaking out for people, and teaching and educating and stuff. So I think that there are ways to merge it.
Okay. So do you now think everyone must always merge it? Can it be
It can
two
be
things that
separate. It
yeah
can
live
be
outside each
separate.
other?
I'm just saying that it's better if it's together, if it's aligned, but it can be separate. It's okay for it to be separate. That outside of these hours you're doing something else, or maybe whatever way you do it. Maybe your time is weekends, or maybe it's not even that. Maybe your calling is over the phone. You might not even need to go anywhere or have a dedicated time to stuff. So you never know. I think the most point that we should figure out what our purpose is and make sure that we're giving time to that as we're giving time to our careers too.
Okay. And so for many people, there's always a struggle. I think that's where the problem really lies. Because if everyone knows their purpose, that, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, I think everyone will begin to work on it immediately as soon as they find out. I
You
think
think
where
so?
yeah, I think not all the people,
Yeah,
like,
but a
yeah,
good
majority of
majority.
people would do that. But I think
Mm.
where the real problem lies is in discovering this purpose. So maybe I think we need to do like a part two of this discussion, and to discuss how do we then discover this purpose. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also how do we align our purpose in our career, or is it something we should just leave on their own?
Mm.
Let's say, for example,
Yeah,
so I
like
always wonder
separation of
how,
church and
let's
state.
say, a lawyer, how do they do it? Let's say, as a Christian lawyer, a lawyer, it's not basically defending between the right and the wrong. It's just representing your client,
According to the law.
yeah, according to the law. So even if your client is the one at fault,
Yeah.
you still have to defend them. Or do you now say, oh, because my I'm a Christian and I know that my client is the one at fault, then when you get to the court, you say,
This
although I'm
person is
representing
guilty.
him, but my lord is guilty. Or you rather not just take that case in the first place. I only want to be representing people that
Or
are right.
you have, if you're doing that, if you're not taking cases, then most likely I'm sure you're working for yourself, because if you're working for any specific organization, they will be telling you this is the case that we are working
Working
on,
on, yeah.
right? So I think that um like in the case of a lawyer, where maybe lawyer has to lie or pretend they don't know something that they kind of know, or they have an idea that maybe this person is guilty, but they just have to keep going based on the law. I do believe that I think in that case, like, the ultimate goal for that person that wants to walk in the Lord anyway should be to find a way to wean themselves out of positions, even in law firms, that make you have to do these things that you don't want to do. If you don't want to do it, there are other ways to do stuff. I know that I have friends that are in law, and they're lawyers, and they don't do the whole standing before the judge and representing and saying all these things. They do their other things behind the scenes, like paperwork, or like just working with, like, Bank of America or something, one of those big companies that they don't really have, like, lawsuits in that kind of way, where someone committed a murder or a big crime. They are just like making sure that, oh, whatever building they want to buy, that the paperwork makes sense, that the agreements of contracts, those types of jobs that you can do, that you can still be a big top person in law.
Yeah, but that's,
and yet you wouldn't
if you
need
are
to.
in that part. What if
My
your
point
part
is
is
that, no, it's a path for all of them. Anybody that's in it, you will build up, right, so you get to there. My point is that the idea, I feel that even as a Christian, the idea should be that at some point you are planning that, you know what, give it 5 years, give it whatever years, and my plan is to wean myself out of this place where I feel like I'm always sinning. Like, if you
so
feel
you
that
feel
way,
like, okay, let me
if
just
you
continue
feel
this
that
same
way,
for for 5 years.
I mean, that's your career path that you chose. I didn't choose it for you. You chose your path. You want to walk in it, and maybe I do believe that maybe that you should. My point is, just check. Maybe there's a path in, even within that you're not living your career that you love, but you are still able to do the work without compromising on your faith. Is what I'm saying. Like, find that place and see how you can plug yourself in it. And sometimes you might need some years of experience before you can get there. But the idea is that that you don't want to continue. I think it's the person that is feeling guilty about what they are doing that will be trying to find the avenue. Some people might not feel anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this statement, how it's a common knowledge now that we are light, we need to shine light wherever we have. So whatever you do, you need to make sure you are representing Christ, right? So does this apply to those people in this case too?
Like lawyers?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think that shining your light could appear in different ways, right? If for them, maybe it is advising their clients. You know what? Take the plea deal of the prosecutor, for example, or saying, or even if you don't even advise them in terms of the legal part of it, is like, maybe just sharing the Lord with them. If it's up to you, I think people have different ways that their own light is shining. It could be you just helping them in a very, very difficult time, just giving them a word of encouragement, and they feel like, man, this person really helped me. It might just be a short conversation, a short thing. I think that's the most important thing, that you're doing something somewhere that is shining your light. But we have career paths that truly, it makes us feel like this thing is just making me sin all the time. I'm lying every time just to do the career and all. But yeah, I think that if you feel bad about it, there is a way to still work in that career without compromising on the things that is that matters to you.
Okay. If you're watching this, you can comment if you find yourself in difficult situations like this. How do you shine as lights? How do you represent Christ? Yeah, how do you navigate it? So I'm going to share from my own personal experience. So I worked with my former boss. Yeah, she's a great person. She's a wonderful, lovely person. But there are some times that when I'm with her, she asks me, someone is calling her, she's like, Viola, pick this call, tell the person I'm not around.
Okay. So she's trying to lie.
Yeah. So how do you at first, I used to do it. Like, in fact, most times I do it because I just found a way to tell myself, okay, this is
is
not really
work.
it's not what I want to do. This is not my call. This is an instruction given to me by my boss. Yes. And in that moment, it is important that I do what she's telling me to do
Mm-hmm.
at that moment. But other times, there are times that I've tried to excuse myself if I know, because it's not just in that scenario. Sometimes she wants to use me as a witness to somebody, like, dear Langba, were you not there when something like this happened? And I have to say, yes, I was there, even though I wasn't there, I wasn't
Right.
aware. So when I began to be intentional about not doing all those things, so I had to do a lot more work. So when I noticed she's already having discussion that could lead into
The
that kind of thing,
line.
I would just
You move.
excuse myself and leave.
Okay.
And other times too, there are times that even after maybe she told me to pick a call, at that moment I do it. But when the time condition is right, when she's in the laughing, I just try to tell her that like, boss, you just made me lie. Well, next time I'll not cover up for you. I just tell her jokingly, just because I'm close to her.
Right.
Yeah, I just try to tell her like that. But in that, when that thing is happening right now, when she needs me, I cannot tell her at that point that no, I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
I can't lie. So over time, I think she got the message that even sometimes when she wants to make me say something, like, you see, like when she's talking, I remember there was a day she was talking to someone that, okay, let's cast Diola. Diola will not lie. As in, Diola will not lie. And this one was like a genuine situation. They wanted to be arguing about something that, let's ask her, like, Diola will not lie, like, blah blah blah. That day I felt so proud of myself that you see, so that means it tells me that this thing is possible. If you There are times that you have to take a stand, and people will walk towards your stand. And there's this quote that says that if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. So if people, I don't, there are some people that, even in school, there are some people you cannot do anyhow around. Some people say, Afa lele you, like, don't go near Afa, don't take it, don't even ask Afa. He is always saying, there's just some people that So I think we should just strive for us to be that kind of a principled person that no matter what, even in an organization, even your boss, we know that this person would rather lose her job than to do this kind. And that lying thing, I think I didn't have at first. I didn't have my what do we call it now, like my stand on it. But there were other things she knows that I will not do. I don't know, I mean, there are so many other things that she dare not. Like, if she wants to do that kind of thing, she would tell someone else, not me. That's because she already knew my stand about those things. But in the area of, okay, just quickly lie to this person that I had not defined it. I had not I didn't stand my ground on it. So it was as if, oh, she could still do this kind of thing. But there are some people that you just know that when it comes to situations like this, don't bring it near this person. And again, in I think another way we can navigate this difficult part in our career or in the place of work is being a person of value, that they cannot just tell you to go, because you bring so much value. So irrespective of the fact that, yeah, they don't like the fact that if I tell her to lie, she's not going to lie. Or let's say, like, as a lawyer now, if they know that if you bring a client that is guilty to this person, Titi will not represent this person. They might want to say, what are you having there, having her there for? Fire her and employ someone else. But if you bring so much value to that company, like, if you are so much valuable, like, they will not see you as they will see you as irreplaceable. Regardless of those other things, they can just let it go, because they know they will derive so much more value than all of this, and they can find somebody else to to do all those other things,
Mm.
but they'll keep you because of the value that you are bringing.
Right. But for people to know the value that you bring, you have to show your value. So the thing is, like in the law firm thing, sometimes that your first work might be something that is against you, right? Exactly, against your beliefs, right? And the only way to get to the point where someone can see your value is to work, is to do the work, right? So I do believe that there's still sometimes there's still that issue, there's still that conflict. And like I said, it's either you find your way out of that situation with finding something else that you can do. For example, I know that there are certain law firms that actually they only represent people that are not guilty. So maybe you can go there. If, like I said, if this thing is bothering you, it's only the people that it bothers that's going to even want to do something about it. If it's not bothering them, they're just going to be going up. They just want to get to partner in the law firm, and that's it. That's all that concerns them. And but there are those people, like you said, in Christ, the ones that are actually actively trying to walk with the Lord, that will notice, like, you know what, this thing, I don't like it. I'm noticing I lie more without even thinking anymore. Before, I was lying because I needed to prepare my lies. Now it's like the lies just fly out of my mouth without even thinking deeply about it, and I'm realizing, no, this job is affecting me in this area. So how do you navigate that? Because like you're saying, though there's not everywhere that they will not fire you if you don't, if even if you have value, because you don't want to do certain things that they are doing. They'll feel like, well, you can go because there are other people that are bringing things to the plate and they can still do all these things that
That's
we
what I'm
want.
saying.
So I do think that it can be tricky. There are times that truly God is on your side. Nobody's going to fire you. You're going to be able to take your stand, and everything is going to work out. And there are people that, like you said, they would recognize there are certain things they can bring around you, and they will work with that. But there are certain people that it doesn't always turn out that way for them. I think just knowing that, knowing your stance, knowing, I think it's even important to know the stance of the company you want to work for. Like,
In
what
the
do they
first
stand
place
for?
before.
Yeah, because then you can navigate this easier. Like, okay, I know that these people, they this is what they stand for, this is the kind of people they represent. Then I don't want to be a part of that. I will find something else I want to do that more aligns with me. I remember that when I practiced, and even when I would look online for like how you prep for like interviews and things, they would say, oh, that you want to research the company, know the name of the company, know what they stand for, their values, their beliefs. And and I realized when I would listen to all those things, like, me too, I have to have values and belief, like you said. I need to have my own, and then check, does it align? If it doesn't, just the way like how ours align for this podcast, if it doesn't align, then you shouldn't have any business with that company. As someone that's in the Lord, someone that is, you're not just any random person. Like you said, you're someone that wants to shine your light. And yes, they will say that, okay, isn't that the place you should go to shine your light more? And yes, there are room for that sometimes, but I do believe that you have to be led in those situations, because truly bad communication corrupts good manners. The more time you spend with people that are not doing the right thing, especially if you are the only one that's trying to do the right thing, you soon find that their bad is even rubbing off on you more than your good is rubbing off on them.
Especially when you're not the one calling the shots in all those places.
Exactly. Exactly.
It reminded me of that discussion we had about the songs, those people that like featuring
Yes, or like
someone
gospel artists
artist
in
featuring,
the secular music.
yeah. It's even better if it's the gospel artist that owns the song and now decides to feature. I don't.
Exactly.
I'm not in support in any of those two, but
Yeah, but
I
I
feel
get
like
your
that's
point.
because it's your own song. But someone else cannot invite you to a song, and the person is already, the whole theme of the song is already wrong, and you just want to come and start saying Jesus,
You're
like
gonna shine your light in that
in
song.
that song. It doesn't
I
work that
saw
way.
a post, was it yesterday, of this I don't know if you know him, God backed, the God backed guy. I don't remember his name, but anyway, he posted this thing. It was like, oh my goodness, guys, can you believe this happened? And I see a footage of a girl. She's at the club, and in the club they are singing one of these songs we sing all the time, like those simple Ninja gospel songs, like that would just say um Jesus, yeah, something simple like that. Like, and they were singing this Jesus is Lord inside the club, like
Wow.
everybody was singing it, but they are you obviously that they are not in the Holy Spirit's mind frame as they are singing it. That's number one, right? And then he was like, guys, for them to be singing it means that most of the people in there, they're Christians or professed Christians. The way I would say it is professed Christians, and yet they are in this environment where to them, now they will not say, hey, we sang Christian song there. But the truth is, you were not singing it from that place of the Holy Spirit leading you and saying, oh, Lord, I worship you. You're so great. It was just oh, yeah, everybody was just mouthing the words and saying everything and dancing their dance. And the girl that was recording it was like she went clubbing, but even her was shocked. Like, how are they playing
That kind of
singing
song.
this song in this place, in this environment, this setting? And we will say that shining lights, but it's true. Is it really? But did it really do anything for anybody there? Did anybody even remember after they left there that they even had that moment? Because I'm sure it was just a short second of moment that happened, and probably you're just singing along like how you sing to all the other songs, but you might not even realize that it did absolutely nothing. And maybe to the DJ, he was the one shining lights that day. He was the one shining his light in his own way that day. And that's where, I guess that's what we're saying about careers sometimes not being separate, because even in a DJ thing, if you are trying to do a DJ that you are being a DJ that is secular, like you play secular music at the parties, then you decide, oh, I'm going to, whenever to align my purpose, I'm going to throw one or two God songs here and there at clubs.
There's just some things that don't align. No matter how you want to put it, that okay, the fact that it has Jesus in it does not make it godly all of a sudden.
Exactly.
Because how are you as a Christian? How will you even know how to DJ properly? Because there are some songs you shouldn't even know, right? So how do you want to do it? Like, as a Christian, there are some songs that you would not even know exist. So how do you want to, except you want to say you're a Christian DJ and then you play only Christian songs? That's the only way. Not that okay, you want to put it like, okay, I'm a Christian DJ, I will play God worldly songs and just insert Jesus songs in it. It cannot work.
It cannot work.
So that's why Bible has said it, that what does light have to do with darkness? Like why are you trying to mix the two together? You either choose one.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot say, okay, I will be doing darkness and I'll just put small lights inside. No.
Stay tuned for part 2.